There are a number of paradigms that people work with in life. Now, a paradigm is the conceptual image you have of what life, the universe, and everything is. You know, a representation of life, the universe, the meaning of life, everything. Yeah, I know, 42. Back to the concept here. I mean, it's a fun book, but 42 doesn't mean, For some people, there's a paradigm of a lonely being who flashes into creation a bunch of subservient beings to make him feel grand and wonderful, the narcissistic god. For some, um, it's just this nihilist existence of bags of DNA bouncing around and jostling for position in future, for legacy. For me, it's a whole body mind that is just running simulations through the form of my life and your life and our lives. Very existentialist. And it goes on from there. But so you understand what a paradigm is. I want to talk about these ones that focus on the meat bag state. I don't think folks like that really spend a lot of mental energy thinking about spirituality. I think they settle firmly on the idea of physicality. These are people who um, do not stand apart from their emotions, do not have a whole lot of objectivity in that sense. They're much more capable of manipulations and machinations than they are of objectivity. And for them, life is a struggle of the fittest. It's, the fittest shall win. And it's not the fittest in some conceptual way, but as the world is now. And that the world is now the best way that it could be based on the paradigm of only the strong will survive. Now, this is not a truth in my world. In my world, there's a need for a wide variety of abilities and outlooks and points of view. And so you don't want only the strong. That's only one type of way of being. And strength, strength is a very mutable term. You got some people talking about the ability to thrive in a competitive situation and system, and then you've got other people that consider strength to be the ability to thrive while helping others thrive as well. And so, again, these are paradigms. And I think, though, that we are being currently ruled by people who believe in the DNAs banging together to see who's the strongest and gets to live on into the future. The power trippers, the people who have nothing but legacy and their DNA going out into it, and they want to have children. And I think with people like that, it's very easy for them to step outside of having any compassion or empathy or any concern whatsoever about the other DNA bags running around with whom they are in competition. That if a DNA bag cannot cut it in this world, then it very well ought to be dead. And so it is these people who I think are currently in power, like in the majority of power, in the power. I think that, I've always said just as cream floats, so does poop. And I think we've got a lot of floating poop going on up there. It's risen to the top and it's floating around up there, not giving a flying watusi about you, me, or the other guy, because either we are direct competition and we're thriving, and so then we matter, or we don't matter, and it's very cut and dry. There is no either or. If we are of some kind of a pawn or tool or use to this man who is in power, then he will treat us as if we matter. But unless we're actually direct competition that he has to work against, we don't matter. And this is why they're not moving to do anything about some of the really severe hardships that the profiteering and fear mongering and social design has been causing of late. Um, So when you sit there and you give them the benefit of the doubt and you think that these men care, even while they look the other way, as rather than having an increasing homeless population, their homeless are fleeing the province entirely because it's too cold, or dying because the fentanyl laced opiates are out of control, or because the cold is out of control, or because the crime is out of control. And they don't care, you see, because that's beneath their concerns. That's beneath their world. It's outside of their world, and they don't have any sense of connectedness or togetherness or any kinship to these people whatsoever. In their minds, it's just a whole lot of competitive bags of DNA trying to get to the future first. Balls in your court. What do we do about that one? They're there. And they have great influence and great power. I mean, I just keep thinking, well, turn to the guy next to you and represent something else. Turn to the guy down the block. Now, I want to codicil this concept of being kind. I was practicing what I preach with a gentleman, a man, oh my goodness, a person. Um, because all those other things are up in the air about whether they're true. And this person um, had such a strong sense of self importance that they pretty much threw my kindness back in my face, complaining that it wasn't enough, perhaps. I don't know. I didn't really give them the time to explain why they destroyed the things given them. Because giving them back destroyed was such a psychopathic move that I was done. And the point of this is, you're not required to be kind to everyone all the time. Some folks, they can wear out your kindness, and that's okay. You can say, you know what? I gave, and I'm done. Because you don't 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 use it properly, don't value it, don't whatever. You don't respect me. However you want to phrase the situation. If you run into people like that, you're not required to keep giving until it hurts, all right? Skip that turn the other cheek stuff. If you get slapped, you move on. We don't know what lessons people are here to learn or what it takes for them to learn it. Yours is to start with kindness. You don't have to stay there. Start there.